student, I'm Abhilash Rajput. Uh, Once again in front of you with the chapter resource. So last session we had studied about the resource and what is resource, uh, how things or objects can be at what stage the things or objects can be a resource to us. Okay. And basically their main objective, the resources objectives is to fulfill our demands, our needs, our requirements. Okay. And our requirements are categorized in different types of, at the face of time, our requirements, our needs were also got to be changed. So we have also classified them into two processes, biotic, abiotic. Biotic is conferred to the biological component and abiotic is your physical component. Okay? And in biotic component, the presence of living organisms has been found, and in the abiotic resource, in the physical component, the presence of living organism has not been found. So forward we had studied this much. Okay, now I am moving forward. So today we are going to study about the classification of resources. Now classification of resources, you may have little bit got to be difficult in reading the terms because we all are in a very crucial time period. So I also have a lack of some particular source that I can use for you to be displayed in a very effective manner. Somehow I have managed the chalk, okay, but I will dictate, so you better to hear. Classification of resources. So classification, the classification resources, the first one is your developed resource. Now what is developed resource? That means to say that a resource which we are utilizing as by its capability, as by its capacity, that is called developed resource. जैसे मान लीजिए जैसे एक नदी है, ठीक है, जैसे कोई नदी है, आप उस नदी को अब आप उस नदी में डैम बना रहे हैं, ठीक है, ठीक है, उस नदी के पानी को, नदी का पानी जो है वो एज अ रिसोर्स आप उसको आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया कि आप एक सर्टन अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट्स या नीड्स उससे पूरा कर सकते हैं. सो फॉर दैट पर्पस आपने डैम बना लिया. डैम बना के उस पानी को आप इरिगेशन पर्पसेस के लिए यूज कर रहे हैं, एंड यू आर आल्सो यूजिंग इट फॉर प्रोड्यूसिंग इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. सो दैट इज डेवलप्ड रिसोर्स. मीन्स आप उस रिसोर्स को पूरा यूटिलाइज कर रहे हो एज पर इट्स कैपेसिटी, ठीक है. सो दैट इज डेवलप्ड रिसोर्स. नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन इज योर renewable resource. Now renewable resource, I think I also had explained in the previous session that renewable resources are those resources which we can reproduce or which we can reuse in a very short period of time. ठीक है, we can regenerate it. ठीक है, तो that is called renewable resources. So in the example of renewable resources, we can take an example of your sunlight. ठीक है, sunlight, ठीक है, every day we are using it. Once we have used it, ठीक है, then we also next day we also have experienced of that sunlight once again. So that is sunlight. ठीक है. So solar energy is an example of your renewable resources. What in renewable resources, you also must have to understand, in renewable resources some resources when we are uses carelessly, very indiscriminate way, okay, their stocks got to be affected. Like your forest is also a renewable resource. Okay, what if you are using forest, if you are as by the urbanization, spread of urbanization, okay, due to the overpopulations, and due to the developmental structures, the forest reserves are reducing. So we have to use it. We should not be use them in indiscriminate manner. So that is to be keep in your mind. That is renewable resources. Okay. Now the third one is your non-renewable resources. It would be not very difficult for you to understand the term. Non-renewable resources are those resources once we have used them for their regenerations or for their reuse, it took a long period of time. over a very long period of time has been taken by them. Okay, it is in the lakh years or crore of years or million of years. Okay, so that is non-renewable, and non-renewable resources, we have to use these resources in a very proper, with a very proper planning. For that purposes, the governments were formulating a policies, a resource planning. Okay, so that they could able to use them in a very accommodate way, in a very managementing way, in a proper management. Okay, it can, if we start using them indiscriminately, then it could also be very difficult for us to fulfill the futures. It is very difficult for the use of future generation. We would not be spare anything for the future generation. So that is non-renewable resources. Now next one is your actual resources. By actual resources, I mean to say that the resources, you know its quantity, okay, and where it has been found. You know the quantity, and you also know that where it has been found. That is called actual resources, like your petroleum. Okay, we all know that the petroleums are found in, these are the actual resources. Petroleum is the resources, and we are utilizing it for so many purposes. Okay, and for petroleum, and where it has been found, it has been found in West Asia. So that is actual resources. That sort of resources are termed as actual resources. Is that clear? Okay. Then now we move forward. Next one is your potential resources. Now potential resources means the resources, about the quantity of these resources, we are completely not sure. Okay, what these resources can be very beneficial for a future generation, or in future we can utilize them at their level, at par their capacity level. Okay, so that is called potential resources. You can take an example of your uranium, thorium. Okay, because these all resources, through these resources, through uranium, thorium, we can use the nuclear energy. Okay, so that is called potential resources. Then we have ubiquitous resources. Ubiquitous resources, these are the resources which has found everywhere. Okay, everywhere at your surrounding. Okay, that is called ubiquitous resources. The best example of ubiquitous resources, your air. Okay, then come localized area, localized resource. By localized resource, you have to understand that the resource which has been found in a particular area, that we call localized area. Is that clear, students? Okay, I hope you would not have any doubt or confusion. If you have, you can get it clarified at any time, as not at any time, what the time that I had specified in the previous video. Okay, now the next is human resource. Now the last topic of the chapter is your human resources. Now human resources, I had already explained in the previous session that human resources, basically the natural resources, the resources that we have found in nature. Okay, but as by the phase of time, as by our developmental phase, okay, we are also creating or experiencing some of the new wants, some of new needs were arising in front of us, and that needs or that requirements can only be fulfilled when we are in the capacity where we could able to use that natural resources as a raw material and form some new new things that could able to fulfill our requirements. Is that clear? ठीक है, just for an example, जैसे समझ लीजिएगा आप समझ लीजिए, जैसे अब उसको किसी नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज को टैप करके उसको उस नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज को एज ए रिसोर्स के तौर पे, एज ए रॉ मटेरियल के तौर पे यूज करके एक नया ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट फॉर्म करना, बनाना. ठीक है, फॉर दैट पर्पसेस यू नीड टू हैव अ प्रॉपर टेक्नोलॉजी. ठीक है, एंड फॉर द अप्लायंस ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, दैट टेक्नोलॉजी विल डेफिनेटली बी सर्व्ड, और द सर्विसेज दैट टू बी रेंडर्ड स्पेशली फॉर दैट टू fulfill that particular resource, ठीक है, as per its capability. For that particular purpose you must required to have a efficient human resource, a educated resource, a trained resource, a trained human. You need a educated human, a trained human. So that would be the human resource. Suppose is that clear now? अब जैसे मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था आपको कि डैम, अब डैम बना दिए, डैम बनाना तो नेचुरली हमें इंजीनियर चाहिए, वी नीड इंजीनियर फॉर दैट पर्पसेस, ठीक है. तो अगर अब इंजीनियर, अगर हमारे देश में अच्छे इंजीनियर होंगे, अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी होगी, अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशंस होंगे, अच्छे कॉलेजेस होंगे, ठीक है, अच्छा ह्यूमन लेवल होगा. अब उन कॉलेजेस में उनके एंट्रेंस लेवल में उस ट्रेनिंग में ट्रेन होने के लिए एक अच्छा एजुकेशन भी चाहिए, एक अच्छा एजुकेशन लेवल होगा, एक एजुकेटेड स्टाफ होगा, ठीक है. तो वो ट्रेनिंग को ले पाएगा, और जब वहाँ से वो ट्रेन होके जब एक ट्रेन ह्यूमन रिसोर्स के रूप में लेगा तो ही और शी कुड एबल टू रेंडर देयर सर्विसेज, ठीक है. सो दैट इज व्हाट अ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स, ठीक है. आज आप पढ़ रहे हैं, कल आप पढ़ेंगे, कल को कोई एंट्रेंस क्लियर करेंगे, एंट्रेंस क्लियर किसी पर्टिकुलर एरिया में आप ट्रेन करें होंगे अपने आप को, ठीक है. अब आप ट्रेन कब होंगे? जब आपके पास नॉलेज होगा, आपके पास आपका करेक्टर होगा. इफ यू वुड हैव द करेक्टर, आपके पास आपकी एफिशिएंसी होगी, आपके यू वुड स्कोर गुड मार्क्स, यू मस्ट हैव अ सिंसियरिटी इन योर नेचर, यू मस्ट हैव हार्ड वर्किंग स्पिरिट, ठीक है. देन ओनली बाय ऑल दिस क्वालिटीज यू कुड बिकम अ गुड ह्यूमन रिसोर्स. लेकिन अगर आप केयरलेस रहेंगे, अगर आप अभी नहीं पढ़ रहे होंगे, अगर आप पढ़ाई समय पे नहीं कर रहे हैं, होमवर्क समय पे नहीं कर रहे हैं, और चीज़ों को टाल मटोल कर रहे हैं, तो नेचुरली बात है उसमें आपका एक अच्छी एफिशिएंसी डेवलप नहीं होगी. सो टू बिकम अ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स यू मस्ट हैव अ हार्ड वर्किंग स्पिरिट, सिंसियरिटी, लॉयल्टी, ये सारे गुण जो हैं वो आप में होनी चाहिए, और ये आपको खुद ब खुद आपको इनके वैल्यूज़ के बारे में समझना चाहिए, और ये आपको अपने अंदर लाने चाहिए, और ये चीज़ अभी से आपको शुरुआत करनी होगी. सो as through this process you become once the time would come when you become a good human resource, and the more you efficient, the more you capable in rendering your services, ठीक है, your efficiency will definitely support the developmental processes of the country. So that you have to be keep in your mind. So please go through the chapter, read out the chapter, ठीक है, and that's all in the chapter, ठीक है. So there are some questions I'm going to narrate, or I will send it in your school app, or maybe in the video. Okay, thank you very much. Please look on to your school app, and also I would send the questions in the video, ठीक है. In case if you are not able to look into the school app, you can also get it through the your WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.